to Bird in the corner. You bet! She's done it again! Sue Bird!
She's faced pressure, criticism, and doubt. Now Caitlin Clark finally tells Sue Bird the truth the WNBA wasn't ready for. The pressure nobody sees. Caitlin opens up. Sue Bird: "You've had one of the most intense rookie seasons we've ever seen. What's it really been like behind the scenes?" Caitlin Clark: "Honestly, it's been a roller coaster. Emotionally, mentally, everything. When I stepped into the league, I knew the expectations would be high, but I didn't expect the spotlight to be this overwhelming. Every game, every move, every facial expression is dissected like it's life or death. I'm not just playing basketball. I'm carrying the weight of millions of opinions, expectations, and narratives I didn't ask for." Sue Bird: "People forget you're still just 22, navigating one of the toughest transitions in pro sports." Caitlin Clark: "Exactly. People talk about the hype like it's some magic bubble around me, but they don't see the grind behind it. I'm waking up at 6 a.m., training, reviewing film, adjusting to a faster, stronger league, and doing it while being judged in real time. Every mistake becomes a headline. Every quiet game becomes a debate, and that can mess with your head if you let it." Sue Bird: "So how do you keep yourself grounded?" Caitlin Clark: "I've had to shut a lot of noise out. I've learned to protect my peace mentally and emotionally. I don't scroll through comments like I used to. I focus on what I can control: my effort, my growth, my energy, and I lean on the people who really know me: my family, a few teammates, my inner circle. They remind me I'm more than a performance stat." Sue Bird: "It's rare to hear that kind of emotional honesty from a rookie." Caitlin Clark: "It's important. People see the fame, the cameras, the fans, but they don't see the anxiety before a big game, or the tears after a bad one. I'm not ashamed of that. It makes me human. And I think more athletes should be allowed to be human, not just noise." It gets personal. Sue Bird: "There's been a lot of criticism this season. Some of it's fair, but a lot feels personal. How do you deal with that mentally?" Caitlin Clark: "It's hard. Way harder than people realize. I knew coming into the WNBA that I'd be under a microscope, but what I didn't expect was how intense and relentless the criticism would be. It's not just about basketball. It's about who I am, how I talk, how I walk, how I celebrate, how I lead. Everything becomes fuel for someone's opinion." Sue Bird: "Some of that criticism isn't even about the game, it's about your presence." Caitlin Clark: "Exactly. I've been called overrated, privileged, fake tough, even a distraction. And a lot of those labels come from people who don't know me. They've never watched me practice, never seen what I fought through to get here. It's not just trolling. It's personal attacks disguised as analysis. And when it's coming from fans, media, even other players, it can really start to get in your head." Sue Bird: "Have you ever had a moment where you thought about walking away from it all?" Caitlin Clark: "I wouldn't say walk away, but I've had nights where I asked myself, is this worth it? Like after a bad game when the entire internet lights up with criticism, it doesn't feel like feedback anymore. It feels like a war zone. You start to feel like you can't win, no matter how well you play. And for someone like me, who's always been ultra-competitive and self-critical, that's a tough place to be mentally." Sue Bird: "How do you come back from that?" Caitlin Clark: "I remember my purpose. I didn't come here to be perfect. I came here to push boundaries, to compete, to grow. And yeah, to take some heat while I do it. The truth is, I'm not just playing for today. I'm playing for that little girl who once dreamed of being here. She deserves to see me stand tall, even when it's tough. Not everyone was happy I was here." Sue Bird: "You've talked about adjusting to the speed of the game, but what about adjusting to the league culture? The locker room, the veterans, the dynamic?" Caitlin Clark: "That's been one of the toughest parts, honestly. People see the stats, the highlights, the sold-out arenas, but they don't see what it feels like to walk into a locker room where not everyone wants you there. I'm not saying it's all negative, but it's clear that my arrival shook things up. Some players embraced me, others, not so much." Sue Bird: "That tension, is it about you as a person, or the attention that came with you? Clark, I think it's the attention. The spotlight I didn't ask for, but brought with me. The endorsements, the media coverage, the fans. It changed the energy, I get it. Some players have been grinding for years and never got the kind of platform I walked in with. But it's not like I skipped any steps. I put in the work too. I just came from a moment where women's college basketball exploded, and I happened to be in the middle of it. Sue Bird, do you feel like you have to prove you belong every single day? Clark, absolutely. I feel like I'm constantly walking this tightrope, trying to prove I respect the veterans, while also showing I'm not afraid to compete with them. It's a weird space to be in. You want to learn and earn your place, but you also have to stand your ground, because if you shrink yourself, people think you're weak. If you speak up, they say you're arrogant. Sue Bird, that's a tricky balance, especially as a rookie. Clark, exactly. I didn't come here to be comfortable. I came here to compete. I respect every woman in this league, past and present. But I'm not going to dim my game to fit in. I know some players think I haven't earned it yet. And maybe that's true in their eyes, but I'm here. I'm showing up. I'm getting better. And I'm not going anywhere. Sue Bird, that's the mindset. Growth doesn't always look like harmony. Sometimes it looks like disruption. Clark, exactly. And if my presence creates discomfort, it might just mean change is on the way. I'm not here just to play. I'm here to change everything. Sue Bird, you've already made waves in the league, but I want to go deeper. Beyond the box scores, beyond the spotlight, what's the legacy you really want to build? Clark, I think about that all the time. People see me as a scorer, a competitor, a headline. But what I really want to be remembered for is how I shifted the culture. I want to be the reason young girls pick up a basketball with no fear, whether they shoot from the logo, lead their team, or just dare to be different. I want them to feel seen, because for a long time, we weren't. Sue Bird, you're saying it's not just about what happens on the court, it's about everything around it. Clark, exactly. We're at this crazy moment in women's sports. There are more cameras, more fans, more money, but also more pressure, more scrutiny. I want to help build a league where the next generation doesn't have to prove they belong, where they walk in the door knowing they're enough. That's the real win to me. Sue Bird, what does success look like to you 5-10 years from now? Clark, I hope I'm still here, competing at the highest level, leading a championship team. But more than that, I want to look around and see packed arenas, full TV coverage, little girls in the stands wearing jerseys with all our names on them, not just mine. That means we made it. That means we shifted the conversation. Sue Bird, do you think the league is ready for that kind of change? Clark, I think it's already happening. The momentum is real, but we have to fight to keep it. That's why I speak up. That's why I don't shrink. Because if I play small now, the ones coming next might think they have to too. Sue Bird, that's legacy thinking. Clark, exactly. I didn't just come to play the game, I came to elevate it for everyone.